internet just pooped for a second there. I'm back. Hopefully you guys didn't leave during that short intermission. Hopefully the stream all stays coherent when it gets spliced into a VOD so that I don't have to really search around to make the next YouTube cut for this. So I'm pretty sure I was talking about Muppet when I left off, just introducing it. If you guys can hear me now, by the way, let me know so that I can know we're all good and I can continue. But I do see I'm online again. So, the reason we're doing this with Muppet Stamen is because 2-No, 3 clubs, 3 hearts, which now denies a 4 or 5 card major, we can now use 3 spades as a relay to 3-No, and if we don't bid 3 spades and if we just bid 3-No, that shows 5 spades and 4 hearts. That's a problem hand that is difficult to show with the limited amount of room that we have. Of course, you don't want to transfer to spades and then bid 4 hearts, because if you don't have a fit, why would you ever put yourself in that situation? Now, by using 3-No to show 5 spades and 4 hearts, you're all good with Muppet Stamen. Now, there's some other ways to show the 5 spades and 4 heart hand. You could play just regular Stamen, and you could play Smolin over that with the limited amount of room that you have, where you can show the other major for 5-4 and so on and so forth, like over a 3-diamond response. Or some people play that 2-No, 3-No, directly shows 5 spades and 4 hearts. Those approaches are okay. I have other bids for those bids though, or other meanings, I guess. So that's the reason I'm keeping it the way it is with Muppet. It's really not much of a change. You just have to remember that you're flipping the two. And if you want to be consistent, you could play Muppet Stamen over 1-No. But I like to have just regular Puppet there because you're not really trying to capture 5 spades and 4 hearts there. You don't need to worry about that because you can show that hand through just transferring to spades and then bidding 3 hearts. So 2-No, 3 clubs, 3-No shows 5 hearts. So over that auction, 2-No, 3 clubs, 3-No, you could use 4 diamonds there as a transfer to hearts. Of course, you could right side the contract that way and make sure that the strong hand plays it. Yeah, Muppet's a pretty good convention. I am definitely a fan of it ever since I was first taught it a while back. So next up, we're going to talk about transfers. Obviously, transfers, the same stuff applies just like we had at the 1 level. Because we're super accept, we can still super accept the same way. We're going to be in at least 4 of a major anyway. So as long as we keep the retransfer available, we can continue to super accept with our doubletons. So 2-No, 3 diamonds, a transfer to hearts. 3 spades is a doubleton spade. 3-No is a doubleton club, and 4 clubs is a doubleton diamond. That way we can keep 4 diamonds available as our retransfer. And likewise over 2-No, 3 hearts. 3-No is a doubleton heart. 4 clubs and 4 diamonds are doubletons in those suit respectively, and then you still have 4 hearts available as a retransfer. So same stuff as the 1 level. We want to do that whenever we can, for simplicity's sake. The next bid that we have to consider is one that often doesn't get discussed enough on the bidding on the convention card. I'm sure I got logged out of BBO. Oh no, I didn't. Perfect. Is this one right here? This 3 spade box under 2-No rarely gets discussed, but there should be a meaning to it. After all, there should be a meaning assigned to every bid that we have on the convention card. So why not talk about it? So the standard meaning for 2-No, 3 spades is minor suit Stamen. I have never played minor suit Stamen in my life, except when I play with the robots. I'm just not a fan. Instead, I prefer to play something a little different in the same vein as minor suit Stamen. I prefer to instead use it for minor suit slam tries. So, what I'm recommending there is that 3 spades is a relay to 3-No trump. Basically, it's forcing 3-No. One thing I'll note here is that even if we just want to play 3-No, we're also going to bid 3 spades here. This is not exclusively reserved for minor suit slam tries. We could also bid 3 spades and say, hey, we just want to play 3-No. Why? Because I'm going to have 2-No, 3-No mean something different. So, it forces 3-No. And so what are the follow-ups to that? 4 clubs is a slam try in diamonds. You might want to show the opposite minor here, just for the purpose of right-siding, so that the 2-No opener can play it. You could also play it as just showing the minor itself, which is perfectly fine. At least if you do that, you can still use like kickback, for example, to look for a minor suit slam. If you do know kickback, usually when you're looking for a minor suit slam, 4 of the suit above your trump suit is 1430 or however key card you play. So if you were to show 4 clubs being a slam trying clubs, 4 diamonds could be key card. Same thing with 4 diamonds and 4 hearts being key card in hearts. Or you can just flip them for the purpose of right siding. I don't know if there's really a right answer to that. I think either approach is fine. But, because we do talk about right siding here so much, that's why I proposed it as a slam try in the other minor when you bid it that way. But that's up to partnership discussion. And then 4 hearts and 4 spades, if you have a hand that's like 5-5 in the minors and you're looking for whatever your best minor suit is, you could bid 4 hearts here for a slam try with both minors and heart shortness, and likewise 4 spades could be a slam try with both minors and spade shortness. Might as well be able to show those hands as well, which we certainly can if we do it that way. I am a fan of having that 3 spade relay, and hopefully it makes sense to people why we would do it that way. So, 2-no, 3-no. Obviously, an interesting consideration here, whether you want to play something different for it or not. Some people might just play 3-no as a straight-up sign-off, but if we were going to use 3 spades as a relay to 3-no, why not just go through 3-no? Why not just get the 3-no by using the 3 spade relay, and therefore make 2-no, 3-no something different? And what I'm recommending here, getting flashbacks here to your worst board ever, and I'll have to hear the story for that at another point. So what I'm recommending for 2-no, 3-no is that we are going to play it as a minor suit run out. This hand doesn't come up often, but is there a way for 2-no opener to bail to 4-no on that hand? Is that what you're asking, Vulture? I certainly think that if you were to bid 4-no over 4 hearts or 4 spades, you would be saying, I'm interested in no trump, not your minors, and therefore your partner can either pass or potentially just throw you into 6-no. Likewise, I guess with the slam tries in the minors, if 4 clubs and 4 diamonds, you could do something similar. If you're playing kickback and 4-no isn't key card, then that certainly should be, natural, and there you could go from there. I would recommend cooperating, though, with those auctions, usually. You could always bid 6-no if you think that's the spot after you arrive in 5 or 6 of a minor. Usually cooperating there gives you some more information that you might need to make the difference between, staying out of slam and getting to slam. So anyway, going back to 2-no, 3-no, you're not going to have this type of hand often, a minor suit run out after your partner showing 20 to 21 points, but it could happen. And because we have the 3 spade relay to 3-no available, and we're using Muppet Statement to show our 5 spades and 4 heart hand, we might as well use it to show this. Like, for example, imagine a hand where you had nothing but queen empty sixth in, like, clubs, and your partner opens 2-no. You could pass, but the problem with passing is, let's say your partner doesn't have a way to reach your hand. It's probably going to be a struggle for them to come out to 8 tricks. They might do it, but it's certainly going to be difficult. Whereas if you're playing in a suit contract, it becomes a lot easier when your partner can use your long suit for something. So what I'm recommending is that 2-no, 3-no, and this is just a recommendation. You could completely say this is ridiculous and not do it. But 2-no, 3-no forces 4 clubs. Pass would be you're running out with a long club suit. Correcting to 4 diamonds would be running out with the long diamond suit. Of course, this is wrong siding, but you can have the best of both worlds when you have not a lot of bids to cooperate with. And then if you wanted to assign meaning to 4 hearts and 4 spades, you could assign meaning like if you had both minors weak, like a hand where you had like Jack 5th of diamonds and Queen 6 of clubs or Jack 6 of clubs. You could use 4 hearts as a way to show both minors with longer clubs and diamonds, and then 4 spades with both minors, longer diamonds and clubs. That way you just give your partner a way to run out of a probably terrible 2-no and a certainly awful 3-no. And then, you either find your way into a much better spot, or you even get to a minor suit game that you may not have been able to get to before. because with this three spade relay, these are slam tries. So you can't go through a slam try there because your partner's always gonna think you have more than you have. So that's what I'm proposing for 2-no, 3-no. If you guys think there's another better treatment out there, I'd be curious to hear what it is. But because I had everything else covered, I thought that's what like the last possible meaning I could assign to it. And because we're trying to remove redundancies, we might as well have it mean something. So that's what I gave to it, and that was my reasoning at least. So that's 2-no. So if we were to go back to the convention card, we would say we play 20 to 21. Puppet Stamen we would check off, and then I would X out this P and turn it to an M for Muppet. We play Jacobian Texas. 3 spades should be a relay to 3-no. And 3-no run out to 4 clubs. So that's where we stand so far. Now we're going to talk about the 3-no opener. The 3-no opener, I think the way Gib plays it, I don't know if Gib plays it this way, but I think people play 3-no as strong, which makes no sense, because you have 2 clubs to show a strong hand. So 3-no should be something completely different. It should not mean the traditional 25 to 27 points. What I'm instead proposing is gambling 3-no. Obviously, most people are familiar with this bid. What it should be is it should be a long-running minor. And I'm going to say in first and second chair, you don't have any outside entries. So imagine a hand where you were dealt ace, king, queen, 7th of clubs, and nothing else. That's a 3-no opener. You're basically telling your partner, if you've got the other suits covered, oh man, you're late. You missed everything. That's okay. The VOD will be on YouTube later. And you can use the YouTube command to find the YouTube channel, and the notes are going to be in the Discord server. You can use the Discord command to get my Discord server invite link. Yeah, just basically never pick up a 20 to 21 point hand, or else you're going to have a disaster. Or play precision. These are all good tips that BZ is recommending sarcastically. So what the 3-no opener basically tells your partner is, if you can cover the other suits, we have a good shot at making 3-no and getting to a spot that people who don't play gambling 3-no may not. Like if your partner has got 2 aces in the major suits, and you're opening 3-no, they might gamble and pass. Now, why they might gamble and pass there is because often against 3-no, you know what they say? Lead a major. And, if they lead a major, you're going to have your 2 aces and you're going to have your 7 tricks in the minor. They might risk it without having a stopper in the other minor. You certainly can't risk it without a stopper in the major. That's crazy. But you might play the daring game without the other minor stopped and hope they get off to the wrong lead. Sometimes they see right through that, but other times you're usually safe. So that's my recommendation for that 3-no opener. It's telling your partner, I've got a long-running minor. If you can handle the other suits, specifically the majors, we should be good. So your partner can either pass there, or they could bid some number of clubs as pass or correct. Of course, if you know for certainty what minor it is, you might want to right-side it and bid it yourself in case you're trying to protect some kings. Like, say, for example, you have a hand where you have queen 3rd of clubs, king 3rd of spades, nothing in hearts, and nothing in diamonds when your partner opens 3-no. Well, you know what they have. They have clubs. Or I mean diamonds, because you have queen 3rd of clubs. That can't be a long-running minor because you have a stopper in that suit. Unless, of course, they did it on ace, king, jack 10, 8th, which would be evil. So you could instead just bid 4 diamonds there to right-side this and protect your king of spades. It's certainly logical to do that, but typically you bid some number of clubs to pass or correct. And then, of course, if you were to bid 4 of a major over 3-no, it should be natural, but it's obviously pretty rare that you would ever take away from your partner's long minor to try to insert yourself into a major, unless it's a goulash hand. One other point we'll make about gambling 3-no is that in 3rd or 4th chair, I would recommend that this could be a bit heavier. You could now have outside entries for this bid. The reason is your partner's already a passed hand. They can only have so much to cover you. You should certainly be willing to open 3-no now with a little more, maybe an ace or king outside, and tell your partner, unless you're dead broke, we'll probably have a shot at making 3-no here. So this, You can definitely be stronger in third and fourth chair. In first or second chair, you shouldn't, because if you're that strong, you could be on the verge of missing a slam. You should be telling your partner you don't have anything on the outside. So you might as well give it a more realistic chance of making in third or fourth chair by having more on the outside. So, just what we would say there is gambling, and we would say 0 OS, outside stoppers. And then under that, I would put a note that it could be stronger in third and fourth. So, I went through that pretty quick. I went through that quicker than I anticipated that I would be. We're only a half hour through, and that's not including the 1 to 2 minutes that I had having technical difficulties. Now, I could go on, because I did write out my next few lectures earlier today because I was bored during work. Or I could just leave it here and make this a short one. If we were to continue, we would start talking about the majors. So it's up to you guys if you want to keep going or if you think this is a logical stopping point. I will give like 10 to 15 seconds to figure that out, whether we should keep going or not. I'm certainly willing to continue going for like another 15 to 20 minutes. It was a 2-no, 3-no disaster. Yeah, I mean, if I was to talk about it, we would just be talking about the beginning. And first of all, I think talking about the majors isn't even going to be able to be contained in one lecture, because I got a lot for like Jacoby 2-no, which is going to take a lot. I could just, I could just give a few introduction points, nothing that I think is important to miss, and then I could just start from next time. But I also think it is a logical stopping point, so I'm going back and forth. I do have the content, but then I could also save it for Friday as always. You know what? I'll just mention like 2 or 3 things, nothing major, that I think would be missed if I were to start on it next time, and then we'll really get into some more stuff on the majors next time. I think that's good. So I'll just get started, and I know where this should be cut off. So first thing we're going to talk about with the majors is like how we open the majors. First or second chair, I'm always going to have 5. There is no reason not to open in first or second chair a major with anything less than 5. Even a suit on, even ace, king, queen, jack should be opened something else. You are just misleading your partner if you do that, and you have plenty of ways to recover in this auction. Now, it becomes a little different in third and fourth chair. Third and fourth chair, your partner's already passed, and your purpose of your bid is twofold. 1, you want to make sure you take up some room from the opponents, and 2, you want to make sure you give your partner a lead if they end up being on lead here. Like, if I'm in third chair and I had like jack 5th of diamonds, and I had ace, king, queen, jack 4th of spades, should I really be opening a diamond here? Not really. The lead I want is a spade. And so I'd be willing to open a 4-card major there just to make sure I have that lead. I'm also not afraid to play a 4-3 fit. It's not like my partner's going to bury me and put me in game. So in third or fourth chair, I think if it's a really good suit, like we're talking king, queen, jack, or ace, king, queen, or ace, king, jack, use your own judgment. But if it's a superb 4-card suit, I could definitely see a case for opening it one of a major. I don't do it often, but I'm going to check off 4 on that checkbox just to protect myself in case, this need ever arises. That's not always. It's only in specific situations. But because third and fourth chair openings should be focused on the lead direct as well as taking up room from the opponents, both of which you achieve with a major suit opening, it's worth stretching it to 4-card openings there. The next thing we're going to talk about is, and this will probably be where I cut it off actually, is we're going to talk about, we already mentioned that we play 2/1 all the way at the beginning. And just for a review of 2/1, 2/1 meaning that if I were to bid a suit at the 2 level, that's not a jump after your 1 level opening, it's game forcing. So like 1 heart, 2 clubs, or 2 diamonds is always game forcing. We're probably not stopping shy of 3-0 after that happens. So the way you handle with anything less than a game force is you respond 1-no. And in typical 2/1, if you read a 2/1 book for the first time, they're going to recommend that you play 1-no forcing. 1-no forcing being that your 1-no bid says, hey, I've got less than a game forcing hand, but I want you to take another bid. Please make another bid to further describe your hand, and we'll go from there. That's reasonable. But the biggest drawback of 1-no forcing is that you sometimes miss out on the perfect contract, which is 1-no. So instead of forcing, I am going to recommend semi-forcing for that very reason, because sometimes 1-no actually turns out to be your spot. If you're, let's say you open one spade, and you're 5-3-3-2, and you've got a 13 count. Do you really want to bid over 1-no? Not really. You have to because it's forcing, but you don't typically you have a balanced hand. You don't really want to. So I play it semi-forcing for that reason, because I want it to pass with a balanced minimum. Now, the biggest drawback of that is typically with 1-no forcing, we also play that we include the 3-card limit raise in there. What that means is 1 of a major, 1-no, whatever I respond, let's say 2 clubs, for example. If you jump to 3 hearts or 3 spades, that should be a 3-card limit raise. That's the standard agreement in 2/1 with 1-no forcing. Now, if you play 1-no semi-forcing, you don't want to risk including your 3-card limit raise in there, because what could happen? Your partner could pass, and now you've missed out on your 8-card fit. So how do you handle that? The way I handle that is I recommend playing something called crisscross, which you might have heard in the minors, but it can also apply to the majors. So, similar to what you do for crisscross in the minors, I would instead just apply it to the majors, and a jump shift in the other major should show a 3-card limit raise. So 1 heart, 2 spades, or 1 spade, 3 hearts should show a 3-card limit raise in hearts and spades respectively. What you lose is you lose a weak jump shift there. Not a big deal. What you gain is the ability to now pass 1-no without fail. So long to you passing and your partner's got a 3-card limit raise. It can't happen. Now you're going to be safe, and at max you'll have a 7-card fit in your major. Gives you a lot more peace of mind by doing that. So with 1-no semi-forcing, I do typically pass with a balanced minimum. And because I usually open 5-card majors 1-no, that includes a 14 count. So yeah, passing a 14 count is risky, opposite a 1-no semi-forcing bid, because your partner could have 11 and you could miss a tight 3-no. But I found out that it usually works out more often than it doesn't. And 1-no actually turns out to be a pretty decent spot to play when you know you're not at the risk of missing a fit. Of course, there's plenty of exceptions to the rule. Your partner could have like 6 hearts after you open a spade, and you miss your 9 or 10 card, you miss your like 9-card heart fit because you're playing 1-no trump. It happens. But I feel like from an advantage standpoint, I would be willing to risk it. To each their own. If you want to play 1-no forcing, I could understand it. But I've had a lot of success with semi-forcing. So that's why I think it's reasonable. Likewise, if I open a heart and my shape is 4-5-2-2, I would also pass 1-no here, even though I'm not completely balanced. Why? Because my partner can't have 4 spades, or else they would have responded a spade. So I know we don't have a spade fit. I know we don't have a heart fit. Might as well pass here instead of doing something silly like rebidding a 2-card suit. A good caveat of this that you don't have over 1-no's forcing is that typically when you now bid a suit over 1-no, it's going to show at least 4 cards. Like 1 spade, 1-no, 2 clubs, and 1-no forcing. That could certainly be a 3-card suit, just because you're forced to bid it. Some people even play that 2 clubs could be on as short as 2, so that 2 diamonds promises 4. Not a bad treatment to play a short club there, by the way, if you don't, because it at least makes sure that 2 diamonds it promises 4. But now when you bid a suit over 1-no, to show an unbalanced hand, you should be implying at least 4. So say your partner's got a hand where they've got 4 cards in the minor that you bid, and they have 2 cards in your major. If you're playing 1-no forcing, they're kind of stuck. They're debating passing versus taking you back. Passing, you might have a fit, but you also could have bid a 3-card suit. And so they might instead just take you back to your 5-2 fit for the major at match points where it's extra points. Now if you play semi-forcing, you know you have an 8-card fit when your partner's got 4 of them themselves, so they can pass safely and know you're in your best spot. You don't have to fear correcting for finding your best match point score. Sure, maybe you do have a better match point score in 2 of a major, but you know you have the fit in the minor at least for sure now. So that's why I recommend playing 1-no semi-forcing with the added convention of crisscross to handle your 3-card limit raise. And that, I think, is a very logical stopping point for today. So to leave off, I will check off. I checked off the semi-forcing box. I'll add crisscross right here. And next week, or well, Friday, we will talk about our raise style for the majors. We'll talk about how we handle this and how we handle all this as well. Until then, this video will be on YouTube later tonight or tomorrow morning, whenever I get to it. And yeah, 5 o'clock Pacific Friday is when we will continue this, and I hope everybody enjoyed. I will see you all there, and I apologize once again for the technical difficulties, but hope nonetheless that this went over well and you guys got something out of this. For those people who are just here for the bidding series, I'm going to just be switching into regular streaming now. Not entirely sure for my viewers what I have in mind. Maybe play a speedball. I think Recern is going to be streaming later, so we'll have to catch it. He's going to be playing the matches against the green team.